All right, guys, good morning. Hope you all are excited for the weekend and already had some volatility in the Russell here today. But this is going to be a webinar about Nadex and my best 6 setups to trade Nadex. I'm Jack Gleason. I'm the co-founder of Major League Trading. And fun fact about me is, like I said, I have the first, second, and third largest recorded trades on YouTube for Nadex. So I'm one of the biggest traders in the Nadex market. And so I'm excited to teach you guys who have never heard about this today here. So before we get started, I do have to read a disclaimer as always, but you can read it as well. But you have to understand that trading is risky, and you can lose all of your initial investment. No representation is being made that the use of the strategy or any trading methodology will generate profits. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. There is substantial risk of loss associated with trading securities and options on equities. Only risk capital should be used to trade. Trading securities is not suitable for everyone. Futures, options, and currency trading all have large potential rewards, but they also have large potential risks. You must be aware of these risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in these markets. Don't trade with money you can't afford to lose. That means don't take your rent money and start trading with it. That's going to put you under a lot of financial pressure, and it's probably not going to help you trade at all. But don't worry, if you don't have the capital to risk trading while you're learning, there's plenty of opportunity to begin trading on a demo account, which I definitely recommend to any trader, because a lot of people just want to jump in and start making money. But just like anything that you want to be good at in life, it's going to take a little bit of practice, and we should expect that. So the past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. CFTC Rule 4.41. And with that being said, let's get into it. Grab a pen and paper if you don't already have one. And I want you to write these setups down. These are the setups I use to trade Nadex, and I'm going to be teaching one of them at least here today. And you guys will be able to go ahead and take that information and apply it day in and day out. So it's number one, these are my 6 setups. I have the charge, which I'll go over here today, the halfway back, the bully, the dive, the leg start, and the flunk. Now, I've created 6 setups, and these are the ones I stick to when trading Nadex, because I think a lot of times people can get confused, and everyone's looking at so many different things that they don't focus on what works, and they don't simplify things. They make trading way too complicated. So I've broken this down into 6 setups that I look for on a daily basis. They pretty much occur every single day. And that's enough, and that's all I really need to trade. These are my most powerful setups in trading. Today's agenda, we're going to talk about what binary options are. For those of you guys who have never heard of them, maybe you have opinions or thoughts in your head about them, and we're going to explain that. I'm going to show you guys how they work, and then I'm going to talk about why I use Nadex as opposed to like a foreign broker. I'm going to explain the costs associated with trading binary options, commissions, account fundings, etc. We're going to go over the 7 reasons that I've seen and believe those are the reasons that traders fail and how to avoid those. And then I'm going to show you guys my favorite trade setup that I use. And this trade setup actually set up in the Russell here today, so it's a good day to show you this setup. And then I'm going to show you guys a couple of new steps you can start taking forward towards your success. Binary options. Who's heard of them? Who's never heard of them? What are your opinions on them? Binary options, in my opinion, are the perfect product for a technical analyst. It really breaks down options to a simple yes or no market prediction. Like, do you think the market is going up at the end of the day? Yes or no. Very simple. There's small starting capital. With as little as $250, you can fund an Nadex account, which is, if you want to day trade stocks without being subject to the pattern day trading rule, you're looking at 25 grand. Same thing with options. I mean, futures, you need at least $10,000 account unless you want to over leverage yourself. And there's timed exits, which are really interesting and makes Nadex binary options a completely different way to trade. And then there's also the products you can trade within it are indexes, currencies, commodities, and even foreign markets. So for those of you guys who like trading at night and want to trade the Japanese markets, or they even have the Chinese markets, the German markets, and the Australian markets, those are all available to trade. And this is probably one of the easiest ways to access foreign markets. If you wanted to trade the German market or the Australian market, the Japanese market, you would need an account there. That's expensive to set up. There's regulatory hurdles, And so, this is a great way to be able to access foreign markets, especially for those of you guys who are restricted to trading at night because you work during the day. So that's one of the big advantages. And then the number one thing, and I always like to point this out, it is CFTC regulated. Okay, there's many, if you Google binary options, there's many brokerage firms, things like IQ Option. They are not CFTC regulated. They're technically not even allowed to trade in the United States, and they're very shady. Stay away. As far as I know, there's two right now. I believe there's two binary options brokers regulated in the United States for indexes and futures binary options, and it's Cantor Exchange and Nadex. Now Nadex they have more volume, more products to trade. That's why I choose to trade on Nadex, but Cantor, they allow currency markets as well. So those are the two. I trade on Nadex, and it is a CFTC regulated market, which is extremely important. There's limited risk and there's better protection. There's no stop loss. So if you're trading a futures contract or a currency contract and that contract continues to move against you, you're on the wrong side of the market, you will continue to lose more and more and more money. The thing about Nadex is your risk is the same based on the entry because it's an option contract. So there's limited risk and you can never lose more money than what you put in the trade. So there's virtually limitless trading opportunities on a day-to-day basis, and we're going to go over those opportunities today. Let me explain a little bit more about how this works. So when you guys set up and you open your account and you start trading on a demo, you understand how to trade it. So on the left-hand side, that's what's called a Nadex binary option order ticket. So this is the US 500. To take a guess what that is, that's the S&P 500. This binary option is going to track the price of the S&P 500. So like I said before, it's a simple yes or no proposition, like do you think we're going higher or do you think we're going lower? In this case, the strike price is 1947. The expiration is 4:15 p.m., which is the futures close, and the indicative index was trading at 1948.3 at the time I took this picture. Now, the bid and offer, just like a stock, you buy on the offer, you sell on the bid. If you were to buy the offer here, and if we did not move, the full value of the contract is $100. You could buy the offer for $60. The reward would be $40 a contract. If we went sideways, you'd be paid. If we went down a point, you'd be paid. Or if we went up 1 to 10 to 20, however many points, as long as we're above that 1947 strike at the end of expiration, you receive the full value of the contract, which is $100. Now, on the other side, you could also sell on the bid. So if you're selling at 54.50, your cost of the trade is actually $45.50. Okay, and then the reward is $54.50, not including commissions, which are $1 a piece. Nadex binary options are limited risk contracts based on a simple yes or no market proposition, like will the markets go up at the end of the trading week or will they go down? Once you have that trade on, the risk is in the trade. It's not like if the market goes 100 points against you, you're going to lose 100 points. Whatever the initial trade risk was is what the trade risk will be throughout the entire period of the contract. Binary options are going to offer traders ways to trade the most active stock indexes, commodities, forex events, and even Bitcoin markets with relatively low collateral. They're cash settled, and they settle with an all or nothing payout left till expiration. So here's an example of the USD CAD contract. So if you buy one contract at 135.06, anticipating it to be greater than that, and the expiration value is 135.08, that's just 2 pips above, the payout would be $100. Now, if you bought one contract and you expected to move above 135.16 and the expiration is 135.0559, well, that's below, so the value of the contract at payout is 0. So that is really where the binary aspect comes in. You're either going to get paid $100 per contract at expiration, or you will be paid nothing. Now, you can trade in and out of these contracts to either cut losses or take profits, which I do very often. Just because there's an expiration time does not mean you actually have to hold it till expiration. So typically, if I see a move coming in the S&P, like if I thought we were going to move 6 points higher by the end of the day, I would be able to pick up contracts for roughly about $25 a piece. If we move that 6 points, if I wait till the end of the day and we're still above that level, I'll receive $75 back for every $25 invested. Or if we move that 6 points, the contract will be trading right around $50. So it'll be 100% return on my investment, and I can just close it out immediately, take my gains, walk away completely satisfied. So it just like any other market, you can actively trade it or you can hold till expiration. The only way to receive the full value of the contract, which is $100 per contract, is to hold all the way till expiration. Otherwise, you're trading in and out for, different profits and losses. So why are binary options so much better than traditional options? Well, traditional options, traders have to worry about all these factors when building a position. You gotta, are you gonna buy a put, sell a call? What's the theta on it? How much are you gonna lose every day if the stock doesn't move? The delta, do I go with a weekly? Do I go with a monthly? What expiration am I picking? What does the volatility versus historical volatility look like? These are all factors that you need to be aware of when trading traditional options. And it's also, how many of you guys have ever been in an option contract? I used to trade options very regularly. I don't really anymore. But how many of you guys have ever been in an options contract, anticipated the correct direction of the move, and then not be paid? Can I get a show of hands? Who's ever done that? You pick the move, you buy a call, the thing goes up $2, maybe it goes up $20, but there is so much premium built in because the IV, the implied volatility, was so jacked up because maybe there was an earnings event, or maybe there was, some kind of news event that was creating the volatility to be priced in. And then you don't get paid. And I mean, I can't tell you how many times that used to happen to me when I traded traditional options. I was so focused on technical analysis. I'm just more focused on where I think price is going to go, where price is going to stay, support and resistance levels. Because I started with a small account, so my only edge was to be a technical analyst and be as accurate as I could with price. But what would happen to me is I would be right on price, right on direction, and still not get paid. And that just bugged the lights out of me. There's just nothing worse than being right and not making any money. With binary options, it is a clear above or below line that you are either paid or not paid. There's no if we are above your strike, you are getting paid $100 per contract. If we are below and you are long, you will not get paid. It's really that simple. So it takes out that whole equation about worrying about the implied volatility, the expected move that's already priced in, and just lets the trader, the individual, focus on price analysis, technical analysis in their individual trades. That is what made me fall in love with this stuff. But why Nadex binary options? Number one, it is a CFTC registered exchange clearinghouse, and it adheres to the regulations including matching buyers and sellers. It does not participate in the trades. Nadex is not taking the other side of your trade. They don't care if you win or lose because they're getting paid a commission on. They want you to win because they want you to trade longer, just like any brokerage house does. They are not taking the opposite side of your trade. Other brokerages that are not regulated, could be taking the opposite side of your trade, and you want to stay away from those. The member funds are held in segregated accounts in top-tier U.S. banks, Fifth Third Bank, BMO Harris, and Nadex gets income solely from exchange fees, not from taking positions in the market. There is a difference between a broker and an exchange. And here are the few benefits of trading binary options. Limited risk, the maximum amount you can lose in every trade is your initial investment. With binary options, literally trading as low as $5 all the way up to the most I'll ever buy, or the cheapest I have ever gotten an option for is $5. And on my largest trade all year, I risked about $1,200 just on $1,200, and it paid 18 grand. So, and that was in one day. There's not many really products out there that allow you to risk $5 and make $95 in the same day with any regularity. And that was on a move going back in August, and I can go over that. There's also like I said, low collateral required. So if you're trading traditional options, maybe you want to focus on the bigger stocks like Amazon, Google, Apple. Those are the ones that move, right? Those are the ones that have the most liquid options contracts. But the problem is, especially with those big stocks like Amazon and Google, the options are so expensive that if you have a smaller account, even if you wanted to just buy one option, the only way you can really do it without putting a larger risk percentage on your account is to go way out of the money and buy, you know, I see people do this all the time, especially when they first begin trading. They buy those way out of the money calls and puts because they're cheaper in their eyes, right? And they don't want to, you don't want to risk $500 on a single trade if you have a $3,000 account. That's just way too much risk on an account. But with binary options, you can risk, you know, $50, $20, $15 at a time and not put that much stress in risk percentage per your account. So for smaller accounts, it's great, and even for larger accounts, it's good too. But if you begin with a smaller account, which you always should when learning how to trade an option, just having the ability to buy cheaper contracts is a huge advantage to individual traders. There's also going to be a ton of options for you to pick from. For short-term contracts. Now, I typically like to trade the ones to the end of the day, but if you see a support level that you know is going to break and you're anticipating it to move down very quickly and you just want to hold for the next 20 minutes, you can do that. There is 5-minute options too in the currency markets, which are really good for news events, because you'll just see, you know, sometimes when like you'll have FOMC events, Bank of Japan events, Bank of England, Draghi speak this morning. A lot of times, if you're just looking for that really sharp, fast move and you choose these smaller time frame contracts, you can go way out of the money and make, you know, 5x, 10x in literally, I've seen traders make, you know, 10x their money in 20 minutes or less. But obviously with that kind of risk, you know, you can lose that money too, but the thing is you can only lose the initial amount. If you risk $50, you can only lose $50. If you risk $50, you could possibly make $500 on a single trade. My favorite part about binary options, though, is I know when I enter in a contract what my profit or loss is going to be based on where price is. There's no guesswork. It's not like, oh, well, the implied volatility might jump and that would increase the price of the option, so on and so forth. So that makes things more confusing when trading traditional options because you have those extra factors. With binary options, there's strikes above and below, and if you're above that contract and you're long, you're going to get paid. If you're below that contract price and you're short, you're going to get paid. You know when you enter exactly how much you will make or lose based on how the trade is structured, which really reduces the complexity, which is something everybody should consider, reducing complexity when they're learning to trade. Too many indicators, too many decisions, too many options makes things much, much more difficult. Price is king. Binary options are the best product for price action traders. Let's talk about the commission and cost structure, and then I'm going to move into a trade setup that you guys can begin using. Maybe next week it'll set up. It actually set up today in the Russell. So limited risk, low collateral, and short-term contracts. We got all that down. Let's take a look at the commission. So it's $1 per side. Once again, going back to the whole small account thing, if you're just starting up or even if you just want to practice, if I want to buy a $50 option in like a lower price stock, maybe like US Steel, ticker symbol X, if you look across, these are pretty much all the bigger brokerage firms out there. And if any of you guys trade, I bet you at least have an account at one of these places. You probably notice maybe 3, 5, maybe all of these symbols. The cheapest one here is $4.95, okay? Just the base fee. Just the base fee is $4.95. That does not include, that's the ticket fee. That does not include a per option contract charge. So if you just want to buy one contract, you're looking at in and out, you know, $11, $12 on the low end. So you're looking at 20% of the value of your contract just to enter and exit on commissions with a smaller contract, okay? With binary options, it's $1 per contract. That's it. And if you get to 50 contracts or above and you start sizing up, there is no additional fees. So as you size up, as you begin to trade more and more options contracts, as your account grows, the cost actually lowers as far as commission costs on your trading, which is awesome. So 50 contracts 51 and above, no additional fees. Everything below that, it's $1 per side flat fee. Simple as that. Let's compare the S&P options, traditional options, to a Nadex binary option. So this was an at-the-money strike. It was $243 when I took it. The ask was $187. So it's $187 is the minimum it's going to cost me to place this trade. An at-the-money contract in Nadex, the minimum at the time was $52.25. So it would cost me $52.25. I could either buy 3 of these or 1 of these. The commission is still going to be cheaper just buying 3 contracts than it is buying 1 in a traditional option, because this is $1 a piece. This is a minimum of $6 a side, or right around $5.50. Okay, so if you just think about it like that, you have an at-the-money option, which if you're at the money and it costs you $1.87, you need a $1.87 move by expiration above the strike to break even, right? With binary options, I could be 1 tick above, or 2 ticks, 3 ticks, so on and so forth, and I will receive a 100% return on my investment. The choice is clear. Binary options are a better product to trade than traditional options, but nobody's heard of them. This is a very new structure. They just finally got it regulated in the United States. There used to be shady overseas one, and finally somebody got the idea that, hey, we need to make a regulated broker to protect investors and allow them this incredible product to trade. There's 7 reasons traders fail. They trade products they don't understand. They don't know their exact max risk and the exact max reward upon trade entry, which creates psychological confusion. You're thinking about way too much. Where can price go? How much should I be paying for it? What trading strategy should I be using? They don't define their setups, which means they have no clear trading process, and they use lagging momentum-based indicators. They're just behind the curve, MACDs, RSIs, you name it. Those indicators were created before the iPhone you hold in your hand. Or if you got an Android, same thing. You think about this day and age, if you have an indicator that's that old, you really think it's worth its weight? I don't think so. Then traders react to price rather than having a plan of where to execute a trade in advance. They don't determine support and resistance levels. Instead, they react to breakouts and breakdowns. Look at that big spike up in the Russell today. That was a clear stop run. But if you're a newer trader and you see a move like that, you might be subject to just kind of jumping in without thinking in advance. Well, to me, I just hit a profit target, so I want to fade that, and I think we're going lower. So understanding where you want to trade in advance rather than chasing price is very key to keeping yourself going and growing in your account. Don't be addicted to the chase. Premeditate your entries and exits, premeditate your trade plan, premeditate your setups. Most people just don't know how to do this because they've never been trained in proper technical analysis, and they just have a misguided approach. They jumped into trading because they thought, oh, trading's great. Look at all these people making money on Instagram. Look at all these traders just absolutely crushing it. But they don't actually do the homework. They don't do what needs to be done to begin learning how to approach trading from a professional manner. Most people just don't have the discipline. They don't care. They just think they want everything easy. That's not the attitude you have to have when you're trading. Couple of my favorite quotes from some awesome speculators going way back with Bernard Baruch. If a speculator is correct half of the time, he is hitting a good average. Even being right 3 or 4 times out of 10 should yield a person a fortune if he has the sense to cut his losses quickly on ventures where he is wrong. Now, if all I got to choose is if the market's going to go higher or lower and don't have to think about all the complicated things that come up with traditional options, I personally think I'm increasing my edge by just doing that. And then my favorite quote by Paul Tudor Jones, famous hedge fund manager: I'm always thinking about losing money as opposed to making money. Don't focus on making money, focus on protecting what you have. I can't tell you enough how important it is to cut your losses early and protect your capital. Okay? As long as you protect your capital, the upside will come. If you let loose and do not protect your capital, that is when you will see major drawdowns in your account, because you are not protecting your nest egg. Do not forget that. My best 6 setups to trade Nadex, here's what they are. I have the charge straight, which is my favorite setup. I'm going to show you guys that up next. Then we have the halfway back, which is great for trending markets, and the bully, which is my #1 go-to during a consolidation. Then I have the dive, which is designed for catching breakouts and breakdowns. And then I use my leg start, which is a method to identify support and resistance before it trades, not after. And then my flunk, which shows me how to avoid chasing a move. They're all mathematical-based, Fibonacci-based setups, and that's what keeps me from doing too much guesswork, because it's all math-based. The charge trade. I'll show you guys what this is. If you don't already have a pen and paper, grab one. This is going to occur on days when the market is trending off the open. What we're looking for is number one, a gap up or a gap down. Really doesn't matter which direction we trade the gap in. As long as there's a gap, we got a trade set up. The trigger is on the close of the third 15-minute bar. So what I'm looking for is 3 specific 15-minute bars, either all red or all green. They must be all up or all down right off the open. So what that tells me is if we gap off the open, there is a disagreement between where price closes and price opens. And then if we instantly start charging in either up or down, there's an agreement. So we go from a disagreement to an agreement. Okay, overnight, price moved, and then in the morning, it all headed the same direction. That tells me that there's power, strength, momentum in that direction. So once I have all that criteria met, it's time to look for an entry. The entry for me, and this is similar to some of my other setups, like I said, they're all math-based, is a 50% retracement, where I draw the low to the high and the high to the low. So in an uptrend, I take the low of the day to the high of the day. I divide that number in 2. Now this can simply be done with any basic charting software, or you can do it by in your head if you really want to just get good at math. You divide that number by 2. That is what's called the 50% retracement. It's a very common technical tool used in technical analysis called the Fibonacci retracement. That 50% is my entry zone. Okay, that is where I'm looking to say, okay, I think the market's going to close above, or I think the market is going to close below. Let's move into it a little further, show you guys exactly what this looks like. This is the charge trade playing out, right? So we have that gap down. That's that disagreement in price in the overnight session. However, once we open, there is an agreement that price is going higher. Buyers come into the market. We have 1, 2, 3 bars higher. Remember, that's what we want to see. And then from there, all I'm doing is I'm taking the low of the day, drawing it to the high of the day, and then this 50% retracement is my entry. As soon as we get to that 50% retracement, I pull up the Nadex brokerage web-based platform, and I say, okay, what is the closest strike price I can buy to that 21,145? And say it's 21,150, just like slightly above. I will then place my order, and all I need the rest of the day is for the market to stay above that level. I don't care if it's 5, a fifth, or 50 points above, I'm going to get paid the same. Okay, so it's a very simple strategy that everybody should be able to wrap their head around that you can use. Now, it doesn't set up every day, but you know it does set up probably at least once a week. We did have, like I said, a setup in the Russell here today. This is the same setup in the S&P. We have a gap in the overnight session, and it's a continuation gap where we close near the low of the range the prior day, we gap up higher, and there's a 3-bar move instantly into a new high. Then once again, I'm looking for that 50% retracement pullback. All it is the low from the open taken to the high divided by 2. Very simple, very easy. That 1902 half, that's your support level, right? So that is where I'm looking to enter in, and just all I need is a move to stay above that level. I'm just treating it as a support. I'm not trying to overcomplicate things. I'm treating it as support, and if we trend higher, I will receive a return on my investment. Same setup in the Russell. So this is a setup I use in the indexes. I don't use this in the currencies. I don't use it in gold. I don't use it in oil. I use it in the S&P, Dow, Russell, and the Nasdaq. Here's it set up and up in the Russell. Gap down, continuation lower. You get into this 50% retracement zone. That is where I'm looking for the resistance to hold throughout the rest of the day. Okay. So how do you choose a strike? Like, where do you go? That's probably a question some of you guys have. Like, what, you know, because there's so many different options with binaries. You can choose the hourlies, the dailies, etc. What I'll do is I'll always go out at least to the daily. So that's at 4:15 p.m. Those expire. At 4:15 p.m., I will buy the contract closest to where we traded down into. Okay, and the 50% retracement, wherever that is, I will also look at the next hourly strike that's 45 minutes out or more. So it'll be anywhere from 45 minutes till expiration to all the way up to max 2 hours. So I'll look at an intraday binary, and I'll look at an end of the day binary to spread my risk. Okay, because a lot of times what you'll see is a move off initially. I could hit that first binary contract, and then I can take off that second one at any point in time, or I can hold to the end of the day. So I like to spread my risk among two separate strikes that are going to expire at two separate times, which can have two separate outcomes. The MLT proprietary charge indicator is something I had built. Okay, I created the strategy, and I was like, you know what? It's so easy, but I want to make it easier, because as much as I can do possibly to make trading easier, I want to do, right? We're competing against computers. We're competing against super sophisticated, highly funded software programs. We gotta come up with some kind of edge. We got to be able to, at least automate some of the process. So what I sat down and talked with a coder, and I was like, hey, listen, this is the trading setup I look for, every single day. I just want it. I want it to scan. I want it to look for the trade setup myself. So in case for whatever reason I'm distracted, or I'm eating a bagel and drinking my coffee and not looking at the market, I want this indicator to tell me, hey, look, here's your setup. This is exactly what you want to see. So this is a custom indicator that I had built that shows up on the third 15-minute bar that tells me if it's a long setup, if it's a short setup. Then it gives me my entry and my stop levels. I mean, there's really not much else I can ask for. This is that indicator at work. There's a line that'll come across your screen after the third 15-minute bar. It'll either be green or red. Green in a long situation, short, or red in a short situation. Then I know it's a little pixelated, but it'll give me my target buy. It'll tell me it's a long trigger, and it'll give me my stop level as well. And this is that indicator at work. Very simple. It works on Thinkorswim. Same setup. Now this, if you see this, you want to write this down, because this is very important. So if you have a 5-bar move off the open that trades into that 50% retracement and instantly takes out that previous high within the next 30 minutes, I know that's a mouthful, but 5-bar move, trades to halfway back and takes out the high within 30 minutes, that's usually a very large continuation pattern, meaning that the market's probably going to trend higher for the next few days. When I see that, I will go 3 times my normal size. I will triple my average risk size on that setup specifically. Once again, you see the proprietary indicator working, telling you where to go long, etc. So putting ideas in action is really what I do every day. Every day I trade futures and binary options. Now both have their advantages, but my biggest P&L all year came from binary options, and I was able to risk, for every $1,000 of risk I had $18,000 in profits, and that is truly the power of binary options. I create a trade plan every day. I know my support and resistance levels before they happen, and I'm aware of the market moving economic news. Now, I'm not really a news trader. I don't chase news. I don't look for news events, but you have to be aware, if you came into Wednesday and you didn't know that the FOMC meeting was on Wednesday, you were not prepared. And that's not your fault. Maybe no one's taught you that you need to look for that, and maybe nobody's shown you the website to look for those dates, but you need to know this stuff, okay? If you're going to take trading seriously, you need to be aware of the situations that are going to move the market and then formulate an opinion of the trend. Now, I know and understand that a lot of people either, 1, don't have the time to do it, 2, don't know where the resources are to get this kind of information, or 3, just are new to it and want to see it done and want to have their hand held. So what I do every morning is I create a 10 to 15-minute trade plan. I review all of the products I plan on trading. I mark the levels of support and resistance I plan on trading, and then I go over what the economic news is that we need to be aware of as traders for the day. My question is to you, are you willing to take the steps to change your trading habits for increased profits? There's 4 steps you need to take. You need to take, number 1, trade a product with risk to reward known and entry. The answer to that, binary options. You know your risk, you know your reward, known and entry. Eliminate psychological mistakes by reducing complexity. Take off noisy indicators. Take off lagging momentum indicators that have been around since the 80s. That stuff is not going to help you guys. You really have to understand price. Define setups that are going to occur every single day, similar to the setup I just showed you. Now that is one of the 6 setups I use. The other 6 I keep on my desk. I have this little, I call it a cheat sheet. In college and high school, your teacher said, hey, you keep a note card on your desk, you can use it during the test. Well, I keep a piece of loose leaf on my desk. I actually printed it out. It's in my hand right now. It has all of the 6 setups, so I never forget what I'm looking for on any specific day. From there, you have to execute these setups based on price, ignore the noise of lagging momentum indicators, and premeditate your entries and exits. These are the steps you're going to have to take to change your trading habits, to potentially increase your profits. What I've done here is I've created a Nadex masterclass to teach you absolutely everything everything you need to know. And once again, I am the record holder for largest Nadex trades. Okay, my best 6 setups to trade Nadex: the breakfast trade, I'm going to show you that, the halfway back, the bully, the dive, the leg start, and the flunk. That is 6 trade setups that I'm going to teach you in this course. I'm going to show you guys how I eliminate market noise and focus on trading the absolute best trades only. Then I'm going to throw in that indicator. The indicator I showed you guys here today cost me about $8,000 to have coded. I am going to go ahead and give that away with this course. That is worth the entire value of the course right there, and you could plot it right on your screen. It does work on stocks. Anything you plot from the open, it'll work on. I have live trading videos with me making tens of thousands of dollars profits and losses to help you understand the real world mental situation that traders deal with when managing positions. Then I'm going to show you and teach you how to use the software. Now, if you already have trading software, that's fine, but if you don't have a good charting platform, I'm going to set you up with one for free and teach you how to use it. Then, for an entire month, I'm going to give you my morning trade plan, which, like I said, is a 10 to 15 minute video explaining everything I plan on doing during the day. Okay, I'm going to send that to you every day for an entire month. If you want to stick around longer than that, you're more than welcome to. This is a lifetime membership access to the course, which I am constantly updating with new information and new setups and more videos to just keep you on top of your trading. Now, you would think something like this would cost $500, maybe $300. Today, I have a special, and Jeanette asked me to come in with an incredible deal. $97 is going to be a discount I'm going to be offering for the first 20 traders on demand immediately. For 97 bucks, think about that. What is the risk here? The risk on this trade, on this course, is $97. The reward, potentially, maybe you learn how to trade a completely new product. Say you make $50 a day, very small amount. That's just one right trade a day. Okay? Would the course be worth it? Worst case scenario, you get this course, you throw it away, you never look at it again. Best case scenario, you end up like my student who took $2,000 and $40,000 in his first week. That's best case scenario. That's really, I mean, that's just the craziest thing I've seen yet. I'm sure there'll be crazier stories out there, but there's nothing that makes me happier than seeing other people be successful with the methods I've taught them. And for anyone here who'd like to join this course today, you can go to www.mltnadex.com to enroll in the Nadex Masterclass. So if you'd like to get this for $97, and like I said, this is only going to be up for the next 30 minutes, and then I'm taking the link down. You're going to print out the 6 setups. After you get the course, this is what I want you to do. Print out the 6 setups you receive, okay? So there's going to be 6 setups. Print them out and put them on your desk. I keep those on my desk. They do not leave my desk. I know what I'm looking for. I'm not guessing. Plan your trades using these setups. I want you to keep a journal and track your results. Watch the MLT Morning Trade Plan videos and to help guide you throughout the day. Every single morning, I'm creating these incredible detail, support and resistance, so you know where to look for trading opportunities. And before every trade, there's just 3 questions I ask myself, and I want you to ask yourself as well. What is the trend? Where is the major support and resistance? And what is your risk to reward? You're going to learn a simplified way to get all of the answers here at www.mltnadex.com. If you have any questions, you can email support@majorleaguetrading.com. We will answer you as quickly as possible. We are always open to answering support questions, helping our traders out. And if you'd like to come in and join my trade room and watch me trade, you can do that as well. So with that being said, I will take any questions you guys have. So the trade room is $7 for your first 30 days. You can cancel at any time, and then it's $99 a month after that. There is an option to upgrade to 4 more indicators. Now I throw in 1 indicator with the package. There's 4 more that go with the rest of the trading systems, and those will increase your knowledge and really show you how to map out the other setups. So there's, 97 bucks. I'm going to throw in an indicator if you want. There's 4 more indicators. They're all price-based indicators. How long will it take me to learn? Chris, the footage is on the back end is about 8 hours. Charles, the downsides are you spend $97, you never open it. You never look. That's the downside. You spend $97, you never look, you never open it. What hours are your trade room? The trade room is open from 8 o'clock Central Standard Time till at least 12 with the live screen share. The live screen share runs at least till 12. Sometimes we'll go, like on FOMC, we'll go all day. If there's a lot going on in the market, we'll go all day. Why so cheap? Good question. Because honestly, I know you guys are going to stick around. If you take this course, I know you're going to come and you're going to want to stick around and stay in my trade room, and we're going to become best of friends, and I'll be trading with you for the next 2 years. That's why this is so cheap. I want to get this. It costs me nothing to get this information out here into the world and teach you guys. So, giving back, I know what it's like to be a trader in a situation where I have no idea what I'm doing. I was once a young trader who decided that I didn't need any help until I got my butt kicked in and decided to finally reach out and start taking classes and start taking mentor programs and start learning how to really trade. Can we trade futures? Yes, you can trade futures. The $97 does include the indicator I showed you today, yes. And like I said, that indicator is worth 5 times the price of the class alone. So you could literally buy the course, throw the course out, take the indicator, load it up on your screen, and that's it. And you would still be getting an incredible deal. Is there a better or worse time to trade? For how long per day it is advised to trade? Oh, good question, Colin. So yeah, as far as times to trade, I do go over that in the program. There are specific times to trade that are going to be more volatile. Obviously, you have the NYSE Open, the NYSE Close, the European Open, and I go over there's different currency markets. So if you're looking to trade the overnight session, there's a couple of different times when, say, Japan is opening, that market starts moving, and you can trade those Japanese currency pairs. There's 3 Japanese currency pairs you can trade, which is awesome because if you want to trade at night, the Japanese markets open right about after you're done eating dinner. So you can finish up dinner, go trade a little bit in these Japanese markets. It's basically a 23-hour-a-day market, which allows you to not only trade during the day, but trade at the evening as well if that's what your time constraint allows. Can you trade with forex also? Yes, you can, Samuel. Nadex is 24. So Nadex, NK, good question. So Nadex isn't 24/7. The only market that's actually 24/7 is Bitcoin right now, but it's pretty much 23/5. So it closes when the futures market closes, which is from, if you're in Central, it's from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. East Coast, it's 5 to 6, so on and so forth. That's the only time it's closed. We've got to take a break sometime, right? Yes, you have to use Nadex to place the order. They are the brokerage firm. They are offering this the binary options contract. You won't be able to find binary options contracts on typical standard platforms. That's why this is completely new. It's a completely different style to trading. MLTNadex.com. Tony, you don't see it? MLTNadex.com. Let me pop the link in here. Here, you can click this link as well. I trade with NinjaTrader. Do I need a different platform? Steve, if you would like to use the indicator, they are on Thinkorswim, which we show you how to set up for free. There is no cost. Otherwise, the setups you can use are on any other platform. There is no midcap 400 available on Nadex. There is the US 500, the Russell, the Dow, and the NASDAQ. Those are the 4 indexes that are US based. It's an additional 197, Jerry, for the upgraded indicators, which there's 4 separate other indicators. Can you connect Thinkorswim with Nadex. One of the indicators we actually offer allows you to connect Nadex strikes on Thinkorswim. So that's actually one of the indicators. But you cannot trade Nadex products on your Thinkorswim account. It's a web-based platform. It's pretty easy to use, and you'll learn how to understand it in the course. MT4, Samuel? No. How long do trade plan? So you get the trade plan videos for an entire month. I do run a trade room every single day, and if you'd like to join the trade room, you can join it for $7 for the first 30 days, and then after that it's $100 a month. I think you'll love our trade room. This is the link to join the trade room. It's majorleaguetrading.com/trial. No, I do not manage other people's funds. Is Nadex for US traders only? No, it is not for US traders only, but it does not, Nadex is not available in Canada. It is available in the United Kingdom. You can trade, so the thing is, think about Nadex is like, for those of you guys who trade futures, just a way to place your orders. Nadex has its own charts. I don't use them. If you like your NinjaTrader charts, you can use them. If you like your Thinkorswim charts, you can use those. If you like your MT4 charts, you can use all of that. You're just placing the order on Nadex. That's all I do. I just don't use Nadex. You have to place the order on Nadex. They are the brokerage firm that trades these binary options. So it's not like MT4 does not have binary options, so you can't buy those on MT4, but you can use the charting software. I use a separate charting software from Nadex as well. Chris, what I recommend you do is start on a demo account, okay? I would start with they give you $25,000 to trade on a demo, but unless you're going to fund with 25 grand, don't trade 25 grand. Take relative position sizes to what you feel comfortable risking. Maybe that's $2,000 and you're risking, $50 a trade or so. Depends on what you're comfortable risking. The indicators, so there's a profile, the indicator upgrade, there's a profile indicator which tells you where 70% of the prior day's volume was, and it's a custom profile indicator for us. Then we have a leg start indicator, which marks, it goes with the leg start trading setup. It marks the beginning and ends of rallies for retest. Then we have the Nadex strike zone indicator, which plots the Nadex strikes over a Thinkorswim chart to tell you what are the levels you could buy or sell. And then we have a swing high and swing low indicator, which marks levels of resistance and support. You can use any third-party charting software. It does not matter. Yeah, Nadex is not available in Canada, Sony. Sorry. And the problem, there's unfortunately no regulated brokers in Canada right now. I don't know what you guys are doing up there. They used to allow them, and then they stopped allowing them. I don't know why, but yes, I'm trading binary options. I won't say each day, but probably like 4 days a week. I'm trading them absolutely every week, not absolutely every day. Sometimes there's not a setup, or sometimes I'm not trading. How long does it take Nadex to cash out? You can send a wire from your account to your bank and have it there the same day, or you can choose an ACH withdrawal, which takes 3 days. Really simple. Nadex, I think, has been around now for like 8 years, but they're just starting to gain momentum. TJ, you can sign up now and delay the start time. Yeah, just shoot me an email to support at Major League Trading. Here you go, Marie. Yeah, Bruce, just shoot me an email. I'll take care of you. Just shoot me an email. Let me know that you live in Canada. If you want, Bruce, you can also, before you do that, take a look through it, because you can still apply it to futures trading. So just check it out, see if you like it. Yeah, Sean. Unfortunately, in Canada, you cannot trade it. But like I said, just go check it out. I don't know if they're going to post a replay. Yes, you can, D. What markets do you trade in the room each day? I trade the right now I'm trading the S&P, the Nasdaq, oil, and gold. Those are the four I'm focusing on. What time does your trade room open? It opens at 8 a.m. Sorry guys, there's a ton of questions here. 8 a.m. Central Standard, 9 a.m. New York. $250 is your minimum account opening. And if you want to, if you want to check out, you can Google, go on YouTube, look at Major League Trading. You can see me taking live trades. Like I said, I have the largest recorded trades on YouTube. I'm the world record holder. I got the WWE belt, so I have the biggest trades that are on YouTube. You can check me out, Major League Trading, on YouTube if you want to see some of those videos. And then yeah, so you can you come in my room, watch me trade, take the trial. We do talk about trades we take every single day. Also, if you guys are on Instagram, you can Major League Trading on Instagram. You can check us out there. Do you use regular ETF options? No, I do not. I don't like regular options. I like binaries. I wish binaries were around when I first started trading. Binaries are I'm telling you guys right now, you're going to fall in love with this stuff. $97 is going to be the best $97 you've ever spent on trading education. There's people that are so stubborn they'll never spend $1 on trading education. They'd rather lose 500 in a trade than just try to increase their knowledge. Those are the kind of people that do not succeed. Okay, you have to be willing to spend just a little bit of money on trading education. I was not, able to wrap my head around trading until I finally was like, you know what? I gotta learn from somebody else. I'm getting my face kicked in. I'm getting my face kicked in. And then finally, I went out. I'm from Chicago, and I just started looking for traders who are willing to, take it and set me. But like I said, guys, if you're gonna learn Nadex from somebody, we are really the leading educator in this market by far. And if you look up Nadex on YouTube, there's not a chance you're not going to come across my name. Like I said, I have the biggest trades that have ever been taken on YouTube. I'm sure maybe there's bigger trades, I just don't know. There's just none on YouTube. So I don't know what everybody else is doing, but D Morgan says, better join, great deal, believe me, and she's taken the course. So I appreciate that. I mean, when I hear my members talking about me, because that to me means more than anything, because to hear the feedback, to hear people say that they've learned information, they've gathered and changed their trading habits and are now successful, to me there's nothing better that I could ask for than here. I mean, $97 really isn't much, honestly. For me, I've taken trades where I've lost $10,000 in a single day. So for me to just spread this information for $97, it's really just taking care of my operating costs to, help me set this up. And I can't wait to share this information with you guys. I know you're going to be absolutely stoked about it. You're going to learn a ton. And like I said, if you want to take the trial, come in the trade room for $7. Watch me trade. We have 2 to 3 moderators on a daily basis. I got a gentleman in there that's been trading longer than I've been in alive. He's incredible, awesome with the profile. His name's Perry Wilkie. And I really recommend, if you got the course, to take the trial for $7 for 30 days. I guarantee you will not regret. You can cancel at any time We're not here to, force you into a subscription. We just know that you're going to like everything you see so much you're going to stick around. So that's why we offer it for, such a good deal. But, if you don't have the time, that's fine too. But I still recommend you take the trial and just join. Can we enter? Okay, I see a bunch of questions here. Can you get the additional indicators later for 197? It's a one-time offer for 197. Otherwise, they're 400 on the website. Yeah, Samuel, sorry, man. Can we use the trading room trial later? Time constraints right now? Yes, you can. Right now, the only trade I actually have open is a futures trade. I don't have, I'm short futures in the S&P up like 200 bucks, just trading a little small here. That's this trade. This is the only trade I have open right here. Let's see. Is there enough liquidity in the markets because someone else needs to take the other side? Good question, Colin. Yeah, liquidity has never been a problem for me. If you're trading $100,000 a clip, maybe it's a problem for you. But like I said, I've taken $50,000 profits in Nadex, no problem. Liquidity is not an issue unless you are, unless you have huge size. No, I have not taken the charge trade on the rut because it hasn't pulled back 50%. Well, actually, I'm sorry, it actually just did pull back 50%. I wasn't even paying attention. Yep, charge trade just set up there in the rut. I did not take it though because I'm sitting here doing this webinar and it actually set up while I was on the webinar. Yeah, Samuel, we definitely plan on building it for MT4 for sure. And if you do get the indicators now, like when we do build it for MT4, you're going to have that. There's not going to be any additional costs. Can we, Charles, you want one-on-one lessons? Yeah, we do offer those, but you'd have to send an email in if you want them. The indicator is a one-time offer. Yeah, Sean, just shoot me an email. Any overseas brokers, binary options you recommend? Absolutely not. I'm not kidding you. I've heard horror stories. I wish there was one. I mean, we've tested a few, but if they're not regulated, I just do not trust them. Course is online, Tony. Is there a downside to this versus regular options trading? I don't personally think so. Obviously, like with any trading, the risk of loss is always there. There's no guarantee of profits, but trade on a demo account. So the worst situation is you buy the course, you begin trading on a demo account, and you decide whether or not this is for you. You're going to get a $25,000 demo account, and you can start practicing these trading setups, and then you can decide what you think is the appropriate level of risk for your situation. I don't know your individual situation, so I can't tell you how much you should be funding with. I can tell you the minimum of what can fund with, but I'm not going to tell you how much to fund with. I don't know your personal finances. Yep. So D, there is updates. You should just be able to go in and re-download them, and they should be updated. Chris, we will send you an email where to sign up with the demo account. No, Steve, there's no extra cost for Nadex data feed. It's literally all you do is open an account, and so it's a web-based. It's like pretty much a web-based execution platform. That's what I treat it as. But you don't need a data feed for them. It's completely separate. Yep, Don, we'll send you a reminder. So like I said, you buy this course, it's a one-time fee. There's not going to be another fee associated with the course. It's lifetime access. if you get in the trading room for $7, we will send you a reminder as your expiration is coming up, letting you know if you'd like to cancel or continue, and then you choose what you want to do. Take care, Chris. Yes, it is at a discount, Cheryl. Instructions on getting setting up are included with both the software, with the Nadex account. If as soon as you've gotten the course, you should go to Major League. Well, so check your spam and promotions folder. There'll be a login sent to your email, and you're just going to want to log in with that. Yep. See, Bruce says stay away from the overseas folks. Crooked, been there, done that. Don't go overseas. Regulated only. D, no, it does not come. This is the discounted. It does not come on our website. If you went, this course is actually 3 times the price. So this is literally like a 60% discount right here. It's $97, and it is the best $97 you will ever spend on a trading educational product, guaranteed. The best. $97. I tell you what, I have spent a lot more money on a really ugly date. My mom, when I was younger, like 5 years ago, she's like, I got to get you a girlfriend. She set me up with her friend's daughter. Horrible decision. Don't ever do that. Jerry, and it cost me a lot more than $97, and I could not get that back. What is MT4? MT4 is a charting software. I got the receipt. Will I get access sometime today? Yeah, Jerry, just keep an eye out. You should be looking in your spam or promotions folder. You will get that email today. If you do not get an email from us with our login within like an hour, shoot me an email just so you guys know, support@majorleaguetrading.com, and I will be a little backlog with emails just because anytime after I do one of these webinars, people are like, here's 1,000 questions, and of course, I like to answer them all. So if you think dating is expensive, wait till you get married. I heard kids are even more expensive than marriage, but usually they come in the same. But yeah, no, I am not married, so fortunately, I mean, I'm sure I will be someday. Got a beautiful girlfriend, but okay, Sean. Um, George, it really depends where you are in Eastern Europe, but I mean, I know Nadex is readily available through your European. I mean, Australia. It's actually they're owned by a company called IG Group, which is out of England. So they're an international company. I mean, they're, billions of dollars in backing. Oh, sorry. Bunch of other questions here. Whoop. You're based in Hungary. You know what, George? I'm not specifically sure on Hungary. Um, I'll have to check. I do not know, but I'll tell you what. If they're not available, you just let me know and I'll take care of you. What's the first step after purchasing? Good question, Cheryl. First step after purchasing, you should get an email. Check your spam or promotions folder in case. You're going to get a login information. You're going to go to www.majorleaguetrading.com. At the top, there's going to be a little section that says membership login. You're going to go to that, click that membership login, enter in your information, and then log in, and then you go to the members area. The course is going to be in the members area. You're going to be able to log in, go to the members area, begin reviewing the trading setups, begin reviewing the information, begin learning the information, and then you're going to send an email to open up your Nadex account as well. You're going to want to open up a Nadex account, begin practicing on a demo. There's 8 modules. Go through all of them, watch them, take notes, etc. How would one trade your system if working during the day? Good question. The market is open at night, so you don't actually have to trade during the day. You can come home from night, and I recommend focusing on the Japanese currency markets because those are the most volatile. So you have 3 different markets you can focus on just about when you're done eating dinner. You're going to have the Euro JPY, which is a currency. You're going to have the Great Britain pound JPY, and the USD JPY. When the Japanese markets open, because that's the Japanese currency related to each of those countries' individual dollars or pounds, euros, etc., those are going to be the markets that are moving because that is the continent of traders that are at their desk. So, if you want to trade at night, those are the ones I recommend trading. You can also trade gold too, or just do your analysis before and trade. You can trade weekly levels. What I do typically is I do my analysis at night. I point out support and resistance levels, and I can place those trades, and the risk is limited in the overnight session. So I can place those trades, go to bed, and not worry about waking up down a ton of money because I know whatever the amount of money I risked when I placed the trade, that is the amount of money that I'm putting on the table. That I'm not going to wake up to like a $500 loss when I risk 50 bucks. Is this info in the course, what to trade? Yes, it is. Charles, just shoot me an email when you're ready. Can we trade on the Interactive Brokers platform? You can chart on the Interactive Brokers platform, but as I explained before, Nadex, and there's only one, Interactive Brokers, TD Ameritrade, Thinker, you name it, they don't offer, this is completely new, guys. This is revolutionary trading. This stuff does not even exist on Interactive Brokers. Nadex is where you're going to have to place your trades. It's just straightforward. Nadex, you have to place trades there. You can use other products to chart. If you love Interactive Brokers, if you love MT4, if you love TradeStation, if you love Thinkorswim, you can do all of your charting on those platforms. But if you want to place the trade, you have to do it on Nadex. How much is it required to open an account at Nadex? Nancy, $250. I got to watch this right here. But I don't, I mean, that's in the course. We go over in the course all of the products to trade. I can show you my watch list. And we also share this watch list. These are all the products available to trade. This is just my Thinkorswim watch list right here. These are all the products. So there's plenty of options here. Currencies, commodities, metals, oil, you name it. Do I take business accounts? You can use your business credit card if you want, but I don't know what you mean by taking business accounts. Adam, I just don't know if we're sending out the replay. I apologize.